I use ChatGPT every day. You probably do that too. You brainstorm together, you write together, and you think together. Well, you mostly just tell it to do your work for you, but you get what I mean. What I was wondering is ChatGPT actually thinking together with me, or are we just alone by ourselves talking to some almost sentient code? How does AI even work? Let me explain. Taking ChatGPT as an example, as the name implies, it is based on GPT technology, or Generative Pre-trained Transformer for, well, long. The generative part means it can create content. The pre-trained part indicates it has been fed a vast amount of text before interacting with users, and transformer refers to the type of model that makes sense of this data. None of this is magic. It's the result of what is called machine learning and natural language processing, NLP. But does that mean it understands what we ask? Well, no, it doesn't. Not in the way we understand understanding. ChatGPT uses patterns to predict the next most likely word in any given sentence. It's pattern recognition on a large scale. Let me explain. Imagine the internet as a giant book. ChatGPT has read this book, not to understand or remember every word, but to notice patterns, like which words tend to follow others. When you now ask it something, it uses these patterns to guess what comes next, piecing together a response one character at a time. Although its predictions are based on understanding your words, all it does is play a game of memory. If you ask it, what is the capital of Germany? It will use its sources where a question like that was asked before, and with every response it saw, it guesses that the best way to start the response is as this is usually how the response starts, with things like the capital of, or the answer is, and things like that. Then it continues with capital, that sounds correct, because usually it saw that people answer with the capital of answer, and continues step by step with each word and letter until it has the sentence. The capital of Germany is Berlin. Once it reached that, it believes that there is usually no more words after that, so it considers its response as finished. Might seem like a weird way of responding, and especially like an easy way to misinform if every response it read was wrong. But you need to consider how it is that these things are trained and why they are trained like that. I mean, you personally, if you want to know what the capital of Germany is, you look for data, you search on Google, you ask a friend, look at a textbook, or any other way of getting this information. And how do you know if that is correct information? Well, you contrast and compare. Is every source I've read saying the same? Then it seems to be correct. Makes sense, right? That is our understanding on how you can train on organic intelligence. So we applied the same idea for the artificial one. These AIs, like ChatGPT, were given hundreds of gigabytes of text from the internet, books, and articles, learning from billions of words to understand how language works. This process requires vast computing power and sophisticated algorithms to sift through the equivalent of centuries of human written content. Essentially, these AIs know everything. But it's not just about quantity. The training process involves fine-tuning the model's predictions through a method known as supervised learning, where it learns from its mistakes. If you remember Cleverbot, that was essentially a chatbot that was going through supervised learning with the users themselves, completely independently. I mean, we know how that went, but if it's done in a controlled way, this is what makes the responses actually good. So at its heart, ChatGPT operates on a principle called the transformer architecture. It's an approach that allows ChatGPT to pay attention to different parts of the input text differently when generating a response. Imagine you're in a busy cafe trying to have a conversation. Your brain naturally focuses on relevant sounds, filtering out the background noise. ChatGPT does something similar with words. It focuses on the parts of the text that help it predict what comes next. Coming back to our example from earlier, what is the capital of Germany? The word is not as important as the word Germany. So it prioritizes that word over the other. This makes sense as it allows us to decide better what answers may be more or less relevant given the question. Just as you would only hear that question as a "what capital Germany," the AI does the same thing. One of the most significant challenges in AI development is ensuring that these models align with human values. It's not enough for ChatGPT to be intelligent, it must also be responsible. Sure, not everyone wants their AI to be limited that way, but you must admit that it is necessary for most applications. And for this, the concept of alignment comes into play. As we have seen, ChatGPT undergoes reinforcement learning from human feedback. This process is not only to improve the coherentness, but it is also for human trainers to guide the model towards more ethical, truthful, and helpful responses. It's a delicate balance, teaching this AI not just to speak, but to speak with correctness and accuracy. Besides, must I remind you again of the times of clever bots, user-based reinforcement learning, truly the Wild West era of chatbots. So in summary, this is how AIs and large language models like ChatGPT work. Tons of data and informed predictions. Great. So what's next? Well, looking ahead, ChatGPT and AI at large are set to change many parts of our lives. Imagine helping writers come up with story ideas or helping students learn in ways that fit them best. It could even help doctors diagnose illnesses more accurately, which it already does. However, this future also comes with challenges. As AI creates more content, it might be hard to tell what's made by humans and what's made by computers. This could affect how we trust the information we find online. Also, as AI starts doing tasks in many jobs, we need to think about how people will work alongside these tools. This might mean new kinds of jobs and learning new skills. There's also the matter of using AI responsibly. We need to make sure it's used in ways that are good for society and don't harm people's privacy or freedom. In short, the path forward with ChatGPT and AI is full of opportunities, but also requires careful thinking and planning. How we prepare for these changes now will shape our future. And with that, thank you for watching. This is Dennis Panuta and I hope to see you in the next video. So make sure to subscribe and hit the like button if you haven't done so already.